Good evening. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Marisol Colquitt, author of Finding True Love Through Online Dating, a Christian Woman's Guide. Right now, it's on sale on eBay for only $1. So this is your chance to grab a copy if you don't have one yet. Or you can also go to Amazon.com. The paperback on Amazon, it wouldn't let me lower it to $1, so the lowest I could lower it is $5, but you can get the ebook for less than $1. And before I continue, because I know as you know, I've been going through this book and practically giving it away, with videos, with snippets. Basically, you just need to follow the videos. But I wanted to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. I pray that you had a blessed Valentine. My husband gave me a beautiful necklace with a gold necklace with a Black Panther pendant from Saks. So I was like really like wow, I couldn't believe it. I used to dream that my future husband was gonna do that for me, but that was the most expensive piece of jewelry that he's ever bought for me, next to my wedding slash engagement ring. So it was really over the moon. And he also gave me a matching pair of gold earrings. And of course, you've seen the videos. Beautiful flowers, roses, red roses, which are my favorite, as well as a big balloon on the smaller balloon. And I'm just so blessed. And of course, a heart-shaped chocolate is not gourmet chocolate, but hey, I'll take it anytime. For those of you who may not have had a very beautiful Valentine's Day like I did, I encourage you to not lose hope. Again, this book is gonna let you know that I've been through what you are going through right now. There were times I almost lost hope, thinking that I'll never get married, but by God's grace, I met my husband, who is a really good man, really, really good to me, and I share my story as well in this book. But I give you practical insights and everything that you need to know um, to be successful online. Let me make this thingy. Sorry, because if I don't, my lighting is gonna crash. Okay, so let me pick up from where I left off. And please follow me along if you already have your copy. So I really want to bless you, so this book is gonna encourage you. Um, A lot of people have a misaligned expectation that their future spouse will make them happy and meet all their needs. I think that is totally unrealistic and that they are setting themselves up for failure. It is also unfair to your future spouse. Most often than not, people want to be with someone they're not. For example, some men want women who have never known men before, and vice versa. However, these same men who want a pure wife have a lascivious lifestyle. Some women want men who are financially secure so they don't have to work. Yes, sometimes it works out that way, but not always. What if you are this kind of woman and you meet a man who's of truly noble character but doesn't have much to offer? Are you going to let him go simply because you want your own financial needs met above all else? Again, character trumps any financial or physical needs. When I married my husband 5 years ago, all we owned were two old cars. Yes, he co-owned houses and land with his sisters, but I had no claim to any of it. People expected me to marry a white guy with a big title and lots of money. Instead, I married a black guy who's a teacher, which is not a high-paying job exactly. He pays well, but it's not a high-paying job. Not at the moment, anyway. Almost there. He's not an engineer, lawyer, or doctor, but I was never driven by money. I've always looked at a man's character. Yes, I've had admirers with titles, fancy cars, and nice houses, but they were inconsequential to me if their character was flawed, or if they didn't have a relationship with God. I've traveled all over the world and met thousands of men. Cantrell was the very first man I've met who was a total package. Not only did he possess the character I had been looking for, but our beliefs were also complementary. Not to mention that he also dressed well and we shared similar interests. including the symphony. The orchestra or the opera is not every man's cup of tea, so finding someone who shared that interest with me was a huge plus to boot. I have always believed that the material aspect of a marriage can always follow. Most people only look at the present and cannot imagine the future. But if you're willing to put in the work, who's to say that the empty handed person in front of you today is not going to be wealthy tomorrow? Remember, you should not despise the small beginnings. As Zechariah 4:10 warns us, do not be blinded by the material stuff, they will quickly fade away. However, a man's character is there to stay. What will you do with all the wealth the man or woman you're married to does not respect you? I see this inside and outside the church all the time. It's a very disappointing and painful sight at the same time. That is not how God designed marriage to be. So don't be afraid to take a chance with someone who does not currently meet your financial needs. Let the Holy Spirit lead you. The two of you can always build your future together. Just be willing to work with your spouse, be willing to work for your future. 5 years in, my husband and I have come a long way from owning practically nothing together to owning our home and newer vehicles. From struggling to go on date nights to dining in fancy restaurants whenever we want. From not being able to travel far to flying anywhere anytime we want. Let me just pause there. When we started, to be honest, we couldn't even go to Dunkin' Donuts. Would only go once a month, and that was already like tight. It's like kind of forced. I can't go to Starbucks because it's a luxury. It was a luxury for us. So we started that way, but guess what? Now, 5 years later, I can go to Starbucks anytime I want. I can go to fine dining restaurants anytime I want. I can go to Dunkin' Donuts anytime I want. So I'm just wanting to encourage you that don't look at the guys or the women's financial status, but mostly, of course, man's financial status. Because right now, as long as that guy is working, you really shouldn't be so worried. Because if you're both willing to work together to build your future together, you don't have to stay where you started. Okay? Know if you're a true child of God, He will provide all your needs as He promises in Philippians 4:19. If there's one takeaway from the hundreds of books I've read about relationships, it's this: be the person your future spouse will need. Stop expecting and start preparing. That's the best thing you can do for him or her now. If you want financial stability, then be willing to work and save. Do not expect your future husband to do all the work and all the saving for you. Marriage is a partnership, so don't put all the pressure on your future spouse. I do not regret traveling all over the world, but I did wish that I had saved more. Be happy if you find a man who's already financially stable, but be thankful too if God brings you someone who has the right character but doesn't have much materially. As long as you two agree, abundance will flow eventually. So, if you know you're really meant to be married and you're open to God's plans for you, then online dating might be worth the risk for you. But unless you're fully committed, you'll give up online dating as soon as you encounter a hump. Online dating will be a chore rather than an exciting adventure to enjoy. You will not see it as an essential platform to meet your future spouse someday. Instead, you will treat it as a nuisance, something that is in the way of your busy schedule. I know this for a fact. I know some who have this lopsided attitude towards online dating. They tried online dating for a while, but because their hearts were not in it, they gave up at the first sign of trouble. Some just had wrong or misaligned expectations. As soon as the men they met behaved in certain ways they did not expect, they blocked them or refused to talk to them anymore. Online dating needs to be treated as you would in person dating. You cannot expect a person to act differently online from the man or woman you date in person. Just because it's online dating, it does not mean everything happens overnight. It takes as much time and patience as it does in person. Unfortunately, the people I knew had a totally different understanding. They were too impatient and wanted the man to move sooner rather than later.